My favourite part about this is that they couldn't rip off the Grinch too much without getting copyright struck, so they just did half that and then cast Art the Clown as the Grinch so that they could half do a Terrifier film.
You're a dead one, mister.
This is like if you mashed up a bedtime story for your child by combining a Dr. Seuss book and Dr. Seuss's actual history with women. The mean one is about Cindy You-Know-Who. Yes, that's really what they call her. And her conflict with the Christmas killer, who is green, furry, and wears a Santa suit. So he's a lot like insert redacted Dr. Seuss character, copyright trademark name here. And she lives in a very sunny version of who wants to name that town anything but a trademark name. And she comes back to it at 20 years after the Christmas killer entered her house, tried to steal Christmas from the whole town, and accidentally murdered her mom. And probably other people too, but we don't really talk about it. So yes, many years later, Cindy is trying to get over her dead mom trauma and comes back to the town with her dad. And here's the great bit. The Christmas killer, TM, then kills her dad. And then like a whole bunch of other people, but the people of this town are refusing to acknowledge it. And it's just really... whoa. This is a difficult film to review because it is terrible. Like, it is really badly made. It is garbage. Really low quality in so many ways. And yet, it's also got a sense of humor. And it actually has moments where it is like laugh out loud funny. Where it's trying to. Most of the time these films, they don't. They have like moments where it's funny how terrible it is. This has got a couple of those, but for the most part it's actually just funny. The real difference between this and your general crappy rip-off mockbuster type film is that it's self-aware. That is always a good sign for these, because it normally makes them at least somewhat bearable when they know that what they're doing is insane and stupid and silly, and they lean into it a bit more. And honestly, it's pretty watchable. It's got the killer, who is played by the same guy that plays Art the Clown. And he's basically just doing that. Like, they really did make Terrifier 3 here before they made Terrifier 3. He literally must have gone to Damien Leone after making this and gone, what if that? What if that's the next Terrifier? And then that's exactly what they did. And so a lot of the kill scene later in the film, because it just tries to avoid showing him early in the film, and I see why after you see the makeup for the Christmas killer TM. But then later in the film, once they actually start showing him off, there's a scene in a bar where he kills a bunch of people. That is just a straight up Art the Clown scene, and it's pretty good. It also has like funny moments, like when Cindy just halfway through the film goes, fuck this, and just decides to go all happy-go-lucky, does a training montage, preparing to go fight him and kill him herself. Like, it's pretty funny. It gives off some pretty weird vibes in general. There is a character called Dr. Seuss. They make a lot of Jewish jokes for some reason. This monster isn't the Grinch, but only because he's like 10% less gay and 12% more violent. The fact that Cindy starts out all filled with fear, decides to go gung-ho halfway through, and has these random romantic interludes with the deputy where she's just like, oh my god, did he say something about me? Like, it's pretty funny. I don't think the kill scenes are even up to scratch. You know, considering that you've got Art the Clown there, they should be better than they are. The actors, for the most part, just really aren't that great. I think it is all on the writing in this case. Like, the writing is actually funny. The Mean One is the sort of film which, despite being quite terrible, the people making it, I feel like they should be proud of themselves for it, you know? Should you watch it? Only if you enjoy fun and are able to have low expectations, yeah. It is the perfect laugh-along with film for it being kind of funny and also for it being terrible, and therefore funny to laugh at. I can't decide whether I'm laughing with it or at it. That's the vibe. I feel like this is a Hallmark film if it went incredibly wrong. And I mean that in all of the best and all of the worst ways I could mean it. Yeah, this is really just Christmassy Art the Clown before Christmassy Art the Clown was cool. So I'm giving Terrifier, I Barely Know Her, 2 stars. You have to appreciate it so brazenly ripping the Grinch off that they make like 20 different Dr. Seuss references, from Wild Beast to having him creep around on his fingertips before he kills someone. That was grim. But hey, subscribe if you like Christmassy horror. The perfect blending of genres that makes no sense whatsoever.